how many young lives were just butchered. Again, young children, many of these, enjoying music, partying, prime of their life, celebrating, and then also think about their parents at home as this is developing. They know their children have gone to the Nova Music Festival, and then they're seeing this developing, Hamas coming in, they're seeing it all on the news, no one can get hold of their kids. Think about what all of these people have gone through.
You see it from live, that everything was happening over here. It's unbelievable, things that you can't imagine. Your brain goes crazy, but by understanding what happened.
Avi Mini for TommyInIsrael.com. On our third stop for the day, Sderot we've done, Berry, and now we're going to Reim, the site of the Nova Festival massacre.
We're now at the Nova Peace Festival location. This was the site where lots of youngsters were having a music festival. Calling for peace, I believe, was the purpose of the festival. And
so Tommy, this is the main stage, it's there. Here was all set up. So these things inside, these are set up when the rockets are coming. You come and you hide inside there. So let's walk inside there.
So they're the bomb shelters.
And then these are also all new. So these are all of these people have a story. All of them have a story.
Oh look, there she is. Look, there's what's her name? Shani Look. That was the famous one where they took her in the back of their wagon.
22 years old. And all of these people are victims that they came to party here. There was a stage here again.
Look how many there are.
This is in the middle. This is in the middle of nowhere. This was a 3-day festival. Here, people partying, singing, dancing. You should walk in here. You'll see what this looks like.
This was a bomb shelter. So there's a bomb shelter. So during the middle of a concert, if any rockets are coming over, because they're coming over from there, people just run in there. But look how many. Look how many. Look how many.
My cousin, he was here in the Nova, and his dad, he texted him and he said, "Dad, I'm scared. Please come, please come, please come." And he didn't blink twice. Straight away he came, and he's a hero. His name is Ivan of Neri, and the son that was here is Tal of Neri.
They survived?
Yeah, they survived.
Okay. They're lucky because look how many didn't.
And it's goosebumps.
Oh no.
So
it's a bomb shell.
Rockets come, they're intended to be heading in here.
Yep.
Obviously, they weren't prepared for coming in with guns.
The shelters are intended for emergencies. You don't need these shelters.
This is too many for guns.
Okay.
People hidden here and came and got started in here. All of these places, these are all messages.
Oh, there's footage. There's footage on the video where they're in somewhere like this. See where they're all hiding.
I believe these are last messages, some of them, never forgotten, never again. They have names here, Jewish people live.
It's become a remembrance wall.
These were built for rockets. These weren't built for people to come in here with rockets and with grenades and with stabbings. These things they were built for shelter. And then if we walk here, this is the main stage of the.
Let's go around to the stage because the stage is apparently where loads were massacred.
Well, you saw it on the video. Remember in the video when he comes around to see if anyone's alive? It's this stage.
Yeah, and he shoots over. That's the stage. How many young lives were just butchered? Again, young children, many of these, enjoying music, partying, prime of their life, celebrating, and then also think about their parents at home as this is developing. They know their children have gone to the Nova Music Festival, and then they're seeing this developing, Hamas coming in, they're seeing it all on the news, no one can get hold of their kids. Think about what all of these people have gone through.
This is where they were the main stage was where the Jews were speaking.
Yeah.
And then they went to hide. It's where he told everybody go and hide. And so people ran in all different directions. So what's interesting is many of those who ran that way for some way lived, and for that reason they didn't. There are different forests here you can hide inside of.
Do you know what I'd say? They're hunted down like animals, and if you watch the video, they weren't just hunted down like animals, they were called animals, because as the Hamas jihadists were shooting them, they were saying, you dogs, we're getting the dogs, and they were chasing them all. And then they were laying their hands over their heads and they'd boom, 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 you dogs, and they're spitting at them. They continue calling them dogs, Jewish dogs, Jewish dogs. Here we've got the women, and then boom, 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 they're massacring them. People have to see, you have to see that video. So he lasted for 11 months. So he didn't just get kidnapped. He gives the names of the people he saved, because these people have obviously bear witness testimonies to the fact that he was the man that saved them. So after saving them and continuing to try and save people, he was then taken. He's a hero. That young man's a hero. And then he spent 11 months stuck in a tunnel, only to be executed after 11 months.
So, you know, we're already 2 years after the
And look, we've just read that one story from this one young man. Look how many there are. And every one of them's got a story. Every family has a story.
Kids were hiding in here. There were survivors who were found, including by heroes. The hero you met last night, Rami Davidian, saved hundreds of people here in these fields. He's a farmer close by. And people drove to try and find people hiding. Remember, you know, you're camped out, you're terrified, you're scared, you're partying out here for many days. Terrible thing.
This young man, but he's here with his missus just having a party to be hunted down. Every one of them. With 3 older siblings. She was a beautiful blonde girl with a huge heart that only just brings it home when you read about their personalities, doesn't it? In the army, she served in the air defence as a combat soldier. Later, she completed a commander course and took on various instructional roles. For a big post-military trip, she travelled alone. Powerful experience. And so she decided to study eyebrow design and work in the field before pursuing higher education. Tara was a free and happy spirit. These were all just butchered and murdered by jihadists who were then celebrated on the streets of our capital city week in, week out. Oh God. Brings home the scale of the devastation to the people of Israel, look. Look at them all. Look at them all. Just all young. Young, beautiful souls, man. Deal Hebrew, but look, what beautiful young lady. Life gone. And the way she died and the fear that she must have been feeling. For what?
Let's walk over here. We'll see a little bit more here, then we'll go.
Yeah.
You know, this is going to be built like a museum years from now. This is a mass death site. This is a mass death site for Jews.
Yeah, they do this and they get cheered across the West. Look, as you're walking around looking at these innocent young female faces, beautiful faces, they got cheered across the West, celebrated. So we're here at the Nova Festival. This is the 2-year memorial service because of the previous Jewish holiday on October 7th. Can I ask what your role, what's Zaka?
Zaka is a unique organization that deals with unnatural death, not only in Israel, but internationally. After tsunamis, after earthquakes and different situations of mass casualties around the world, we as people that care for humanity, understanding that it doesn't make difference if you're Jewish or Christian or Muslim, you're God's creation. We come anywhere around the world to take care of giving the dignity to whoever died.
So if you're someone that dealt firsthand with the bodies of the deceased from these attacks, can you enlighten us at all about what had happened to any of these bodies?
There were a lot of bodies. They were in situations that you cannot understand how brutal these bodies were, in situations that we dealt with things that you cannot imagine. Your brain cannot understand how children, elderly, women, what they went through.
Can you detail us? Can you give us any details of what the women may have gone through, or what their bodies showed evidence of?
I personally dealt, and I spoke about it in the Parliament of England. I spoke about it in the UN, about women's rights, about what I personally dealt with. I came into one of the houses and there was a woman. She was naked. She had nails and different objects in her female organs. There were bodies that were cut brutally that we couldn't understand, and we couldn't identify if it's a man or a woman. This is not something that you see on a daily basis.
As in they chopped the genitalia?
Yes.
They'd done so much damage to the genitalia area, you couldn't make out if it was a man or a woman.
And not only that, some of the bodies were chopped to pieces. You couldn't really identify. I'm not talking about houses and places that were hit with grenades. Forget about that situation. I'm talking about coming into a house. Yeah, hand grenades.
No, you're talking about coming into a hand and butchering someone with your hands.
Exactly. I'm talking about coming into a house of a woman that she's a Holocaust survivor. After going through the Holocaust, surviving and coming to live in Israel, living on a beautiful kibbutz with her grandchildren and family, and then being butchered in her own bed. And when you come into the house, some houses you came in, you saw bullets, you saw different ammunition that was used. Over here, we came into a room. There was a hospital bed. A woman that was connected to machines couldn't even do anything to anyone in her life. And she was laying there butchered with knives, hammers, screwdrivers, things that you cannot understand. This is not a normal situation of brutality. We had women that were tied to trees.
Yeah, explain that to me, because so in the Nova Festival where we are now.
And this is the area where the party was, but everyone was running away out into the fields. Some of them were found behind over here where the trees are. There were women tied to trees, legs spread open, and blood was just oozing out, and then they were shot in the heads. Now you can see, according to all the ballistics and the situations after they got killed, what the situation was. They were raped alive. All these situations, all these things, according to all the evidence of what happened, from testimony, not only the testimonies of the survivors that were hiding around, but the situation of checking all the situation, what happened on the scene. You see it from live, that everything was happening over here. Is unbelievable, things that you can't imagine. Your brain goes crazy, but by understanding what happened.
I've just watched a video showing some of it, people's heads being hacked off with blunt objects. Can you, am I right that still now in Gaza, which is just in that direction there, some of the bodies of Jewish families are still being held?
Still 19 bodies.
There's still 19 bodies?
Yes.
And majority of them female?
The last female kid just came back last night.
19 bodies left, so you can understand how important it is when you understand it's part of Jewish religion. They need every part of the body back, they need the blood back, they need the whole remains back. So do you have confidence that all of those 19 bodies will be returned?
Well, it's already now, I think it's 39 years for Ron Arad.
It's what?
Ron Arad. Ron Arad was a pilot that exactly today is 39 years.
And they've never got his body back?
Never got his body back. And the families are in situations of not really knowing what could happen. And that's a fear from every mother, every father, every child, that they're never going to have a place to come, to mourn, to pray, to connect to. Understanding that you don't have a place to finish this horrific circle of not knowing what happened to them.
One of the things that detractors of Israel have used from early on in the war is that your organization, Zaka, in the beginning it was reported that there was 40 beheaded babies, and it turned out it wasn't 40 beheaded babies. How did that happen, that there was that information, and how do you feel about the fact that that was used constantly until now? We still see it to question the entire story and all the atrocities that happened that day.
For sure, that was a question that it was hard to understand who came up with that numbers. It did not come straight from Zaka. Now, let me explain to you the situation. We, as a circular Jew, on a holiday, gets a call, comes to situations of collecting hundreds of bodies here, over close to 300 bodies only in the Nova. I'm not talking about the highways, I'm not talking about the kibbutzim for 2.5 weeks to collect the bodies and remains. I'm not talking about only that. Think about collecting over 1,500 bodies of terrorists by understanding how important it is to collect the body. You understand the situation, seeing what they did, and then collecting bodies of terrorists. It's a totally different understanding. But when you deal with hundreds of bodies, sometimes your head is not in the right place. And sometimes you say things that you're not really in control of what you see, because you see collecting parts, and it's unbelievable. Collecting genital pieces, you understand what it means having bodies of women cut to pieces, or even men. Cut to pieces. You saw it today. We saw the video of beheaded people. We saw that together. And by seeing that, you can't stay sometimes focused. And someone said he saw beheaded babies. Yes. And then the question was, did you see beheading? We didn't see beheading. We came to collect whatever was there. When you see parts and parts and parts, sometimes you don't know what you're seeing. Now, think about those shelters. When you walk into a shelter that was hit with seven grenades, you can't know what you're having over there. What is connected to what? So, by understanding what you're dealing with or what you're seeing, you sometimes say something, and someone continues saying and saying and saying. But when I speak about every story that I speak about, I have full evidence. The first thing, just you should know, there's over 10,000 images we're giving in to the police of every scene, every image and situation that we as Zaka members dealt with. Now in Zaka, before you become a Zaka volunteer, you have to sign on an agreement that you never in your life would take a picture. But understanding that it took 50 years to deny the Holocaust, it took 50 seconds to deny what happened that night here. And when we saw the situation at no stops, everything was allowed. Do whatever you want, do as much as is possible. That was the situation. We had to make sure that we have evidence for every situation, every scene that we dealt with. So when I speak about anything, everything is documented.
Did they do autopsies? Because I know that was one of the criticisms as well when it came to women and the sexual assaults that are being denied. They said that they didn't do autopsies from what I remember.
Let me explain something. There's no one in the world, no medic, no doctor, not even a situation of someone that deals with violence and stuff like that goes with a rape kit in his pocket. No doctor, no, not even a specialist anywhere around the world. No one walks around with a rape kit. Okay, so even if you have any rape situations and stuff like that, you can't come and stand in front of anyone and saying this was what happened, this is what, because it took 72 hours or even more than that to be able to stand in front of the world.
But is there a reason why they didn't hold the body?
Everybody that came to the morgue has to go through autopsies to be able to get every details and every information, because there's no such thing. It's a crime scene. There's no such thing cutting corners.
So they're all autopsies?
Everybody had to go through full identification, has to go through everything in the...
So why are people denying the autopsies happened? And
so it's like this. In the Jewish law, you try not to make an autopsy because that's opening the body or opening different, touching, doing more, I wouldn't call it... mutilation. But if you want to respect, you do whatever you have to do in a way that you don't need to do a full autopsy. So that's the reason around the world people speak about it like that.
So they were autopsies, but they weren't full?
No, over here, because it's a crime scene, it has to go, even according to the Jewish law, through a full autopsy.
So there was autopsies, and
Exactly.
they got the proof of the rape.
Exactly.
And so how do you feel the fact that there's so many around the world are denying all of this?
Well, they're denying the whole October 7 also. Everything, people are denying the Holocaust. Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
If you think it's important for the world to know what really happened on October 7, then share this video far and wide. And if you support our mission here on the ground, following Tommy Robertson, not letting the BBC or Sky News or any other fake news network portray this tour as anything but what it is, make sure to head to tommyinisrael.com, check out all our reports there and share them far and wide. But also, please consider chipping in to help us cover the cost of being here. We're not taking any funding from anyone, no NGOs, no governments, nobody. But I like that, because that way we get to be completely independent. We get to follow Tommy, we get to show you what's really happening, and nobody gets to tell us what to publish. So we need your help, tommyinisrael.com. You help us and we'll stay independent.